Hi everyone, I am wearing my pajamas and there is a very valid reason for that. I thought because this video is about being an INFP parent and postpartum depression, I thought it would be good to wear my work attire. Unless of course I'm taking the Scarlet to kindy, which means I'm going to be wearing probably leggings, a stained t-shirt and some slip-on shoes. I'm going to make this video relatively short because I've got two topics to cover. So, being an INFP parent, I feel that as an INFP parent, I back my children 100% with what they are passionate about and what their values are. In no way I would disregard what makes a competent member of society, like such as doing the 9 to 5, paying taxes, going to school, that kind of thing. You know, that's very crucial to being part of our society. But in amongst all of that, to have my children follow their passions, to chase their dreams, and to do what they value, to do what makes them happy is super important to me because I feel that I'm that way myself. I do back my children 150% with this kind of thing. You know, obviously they haven't yet found what they're passionate about, but once they do, you know, I'm going to be right there with them every step of the way. You know, and if they feel like giving up, I'm going to be encouraging them to keep marching forward, to pick themselves up, to march forward and to keep going. Yeah, I feel that as an INFP, that's what I would do, that's what we would do. Obviously everyone's different, but to just know that they can fill their souls up with what they love. You know, I feel that part of my purpose is fulfilled that way. You know, if Scarlett, for instance, wanted to be the next Prime Minister of New Zealand and Oscar wanted to join the ballet, it doesn't matter what it is, you know, I'm there 150%. I mean, Scarlett, she already kind of displays herself in that manner, not being the next Prime Minister, but, you know, she is so emotionally intelligent and so compassionate that I feel with whatever she chooses to do, it's going to be absolutely amazing and is going to fill her soul. And I can already tell that she's going to be that kind of person that will follow her dreams instead of just accepting what is as is, you know. And obviously Oscar's like 4 months old and he doesn't yet know. But in saying that, you know, his dad and I both play a lot of music, play and sing a lot of music around him, and he loves it so much. So I wouldn't be surprised if he became a musician or something to do with music or art. You know, I have a feeling. I mean, he's an INFP, as in my partner, and I'm an INFP, so I wonder what kind of child we're going to make. So yeah, yeah, so I'm going to move on. I'm sorry that was so quick, but, you know, I don't want to take up too much time rather. Moving on to postpartum depression. At the end of this video, I will be doing half a song I wrote titled The Glory Days. And what this song is about is the postpartum changes, physical changes. And remembering what it was like, how I felt in my body, in my physical self before I had children. And I feel that this is kind of contributes to my postpartum depression, because, you know, I feel that after you have children, especially when they're young, you feel like you've lost a part of yourself, and it's you have to kind of figure out who you are again. And I know that, you know, that might sound a bit ridiculous, but that, you know, that's what goes on in my head at least, and it's no reflection of my kids or anything. It's just because I'm so busy raising them, you know, I've forgotten kind of who I am. You know, my body's gone through 9 months worth of change. I've given birth. I look different. I feel different. and I kind of have forgotten who I am, and not knowing who I am is a very important part of who I am, because, you know, that way I can, you know, that fills me up, is to know who I am, and I take pride in that. And especially physically speaking in this case, I haven't bounced back with Oscar as well as what I did with Scarlett. Like, you know, if you followed my vlogs previously, you know, I used to have, I had the blue hair, and I was at a body size which I really loved. And, you know, I mean, even then, it took months for me to regain who I was, and I went to those lengths of colouring my hair, getting more tattoos, you know, to recreate myself. And, you know, this time around, I haven't lost the baby weight. My hair is at a colour I don't want it to be. My face, I'm breaking out. You know, I wear the same thing every day, and it's really effing depressing. Yeah, so that's what that song's about. And so I guess, you know, that's the start of my rant about flipping postpartum depression. Yeah, postpartum depression is really, really common, and I feel that, you know, there's a stigma about it, like, you know, you're weak if you have it, which is definitely not true. There is you know, I feel that in our Western culture, there's more, statistically speaking, there's more people who suffer from it than in non-Western cultures. And I think that is because we have this real nuclear family thing that I just don't agree with at all. Like, in our culture, it's every man for himself, and we lack the support. I mean, for instance, if you look at in the US, you know, at the very most, women get 12 weeks unpaid maternity leave. And if you look at a place like Canada, they get 1 year's paid maternity leave. God, I just can't even imagine going back to work 12 weeks postpartum. Like, I mean, you go through so many changes, and to top it off, now you've got to, you know, be someone's bitch. You know, I just feel for all of you American women who really, really wanted to stay with your children. I'm honestly so sorry. And if you're from America and you're suffering from postpartum depression, you know, I can fully understand why, you know. Yes, I mean, if you look at non-Western cultures, in Congo, for instance, the neighbours are there for each other. Like, if one of the families is struggling, they'll often let one of their children go and stay with their neighbours for a few months, and then the favour will be returned. So, you know, they have each other's backs, and there's a real sense of community. And I feel like that is so important for mothers and fathers, especially of young children, because you go through so many changes. It's not just women, it's men as well. You know, you go through so many changes. And you know, these changes are hormonal, you know, they're like physical and mental and emotional, and just to have support there, you know, goes such a long way to know that having your feelings are okay. You know, with Scarlett, I didn't actually know this, but I had postpartum depression with her. You know, if you recall, I ended up being homeless and everything. I had postpartum depression just before that. And I guess that was part of the reason why I had this real big bender. But, you know, at the time, I was living with this woman who wasn't very nice to me at all. And she would question everything I do. And it's like everything I did was wrong. Every way I parented was wrong. And she was just down my throat constantly. A real narcissist, that woman was. And it, like, honestly, it contributed to my postpartum depression, and I ended up drinking. Like, every time Scarlett would stay with her dad, I'd just drink. I started smoking again. And, you know, there's things that I questioned about myself. You know, I felt horrible. I felt guilty. And, you know, I felt guilty because Scarlett had to put up with a mother like me. You know, I didn't have a job. I was staying in one room with her. Like, I shared a bedroom with her. And I mean, you know, I was into co-sleeping anyway from when Scarlett was a little baby. But I feel like I couldn't provide for her in the way that I wanted. And it was so disheartening. And on top of that, I had this narcissistic, evil who would, you know, belittle everything I did. I just felt like I couldn't measure up to anyone. And I was at the point where I couldn't look after Scarlett anymore. And I felt like I was giving up. I felt that giving up, I had all this guilt about feeling like I was giving up. But I wanted Scarlett to be somewhere where someone could support her, and you know, that someone could be a better mother than me to her. And to this day, I'm still guilty about it, you know. Now, I obviously picked myself back up. You know, moving up to Auckland was the best thing that I could do for her and I. And I met the lovely James, who has been there for me through thick and thin. I studied, I've passed my course. You know, I achieved all this stuff. And unfortunately, I have postpartum depression again, which is, it sucks. But you know, I have mental health issues anyway. I have, can't remember, it's like this mild form of bipolar, and anxiety. Oh my God, you do not want to know my anxiety. Yeah, so I have postpartum depression again, and as I said, no reflection of my children. But it's something that I have to deal with and that I get through with support. There has been a few walls that have been punched. I've thrown chairs, not recently, the last time, but you know. And the reason I have postpartum depression is because, as I said, I feel like there's a part of me that I've lost. Yeah, I think that's probably the main reason. Coming to terms with a new way of life, sometimes feeling like I'm drowning. It's weird. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically just feeling like I've lost myself. I really feel that, you know, when I reach the age of 40, I'm going to have a midlife crisis. I feel like that's going to happen to me. But yeah, having that support there just makes the world a difference. If I can continue striving to better myself in every way I can, I feel like I can be the best parent for my children. I remember once seeing this article on stuff.co.nz, an article that popped up on Facebook. It was like something along the lines of some millennial parent feeling burnt out, and this woman, probably in her 60s, commented saying that millennials were ridiculous, so we need to harden up, because she was there for her children and gave her children every ounce of her. And even when she had the flu, she just pushed on and didn't ask for help, and we should all do the same. And obviously that woman's comment was completely out of line, because, you know, everyone has their breaking point. Everyone needs to take time away from themselves to be better, you know, to fill their cups back up. Because how are you supposed to take care of someone if your cup is empty? You know, I feel like this woman, yeah, she was there for her kids 100% of the time, but did she give her children 100% of herself? You know, I feel that if I am not fully there, I can't give my children 100%. But if I am able to go away, take time for myself, do creative things, work on my passions and my goals, if I feel like I'm getting there, getting closer to those, I fill my cup back up and I'm able to give my children 100%, you know? But, you know, we have this big stigma about postpartum depression, you know? Anyway, so now I'm going to play for you the song the glory days. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. And so I'll say goodbye now. And yeah, we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. So yeah, it's only half finished, but we'll see. Bye!